Ladies and gentlemen, our national anthem. All right, thank you, ladies and gentlemen. If we could start getting the Division II women's jumpers and the Division I women's slalom to their start dock positions. We do want our first skiers going off at 7 o'clock. So once again, Division II women's jump, Division I women's slalom to the dock. And once again, we are going to need some help this weekend with our webcast video team. So if you guys have any camera experience or want some, come sign up for an hour or so to help run the cameras on either the jump lake or the slalom lake. Really do appreciate that. This webcast is put together for your friends, your family back home who can't make it out here. So if every team can devote 4 people, 1 person per day to the weekend, that'll help us out tremendously. So if every team can do 4 people to sign up for an hour, work 1 day. Like no video or just no operator? No operator. Yep. We do need a operator on our jump lake camera underneath the umbrella here, right across from the jump ramp. Any D2 teams?
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the 2017 Connelly Skis National Collegiate Water Ski Championships. The time, according to my watch, is 7:05 a.m., which means we started exactly 5 minutes ago. I missed the first skier, but I hear she did really well. We're about to start women's A Slalom on Lake 2, and then we're going to have some Division 2 jumping, I understand, on Lake 1. So some exciting action today. We're going to be going from sun up to sundown. And I think we're just moments away from having our first skier on the water. 24 teams from all across the country congregating here in beautiful Zachary, Louisiana for 3 days of water skiing action. And congratulations to the real die-hard fans making it up here at the crack of dawn this morning. I'm sure it wasn't easy. Also, we've got a bit of a search going for the rest of my team for doing a runner on breakfast this morning, so you see anyone from San Diego State, you're wanted at the hotel. So yeah, just a reminder, of course, this event being webcasted, we do need volunteers to help us operate the cameras. And I do understand that if your team volunteers to help with the cameras, that is an automatic 3 feet added to all of your jump distances. So definitely an incentive to sign up and operate the cameras for a bit. Ohio State already cashing in on that. Well, we have a skier on the water. Division 1 Women's Slalom. Boat appears to be going a roaring 21 miles per hour. And she cuts through the gates confidently as if there's a shot she'll get outside one. And she gets outside it. Really throws her head and shoulders into it. It's the beauty of 21 miles per hour, I suppose, is it's really not all that hard to get outside each bird. Down 3 as well. She'll keep going. I need to find a new place to stand. Luckily, at this speed, I have time to pick up my microphone and walk right around the tower. Okay. So it looks like we have Cynthia Prentice from University of Wisconsin-Madison. Unfortunately, not quite running past number 1. So she'll ski back to the shore. Still, though, some solid team points straight off the bat. And a big cheer going up. The first skier of these national championships. Quite an honour, really. And then if you look over here on the jump lake, where it looks like we're underway with jumping too, this should be Ava Valley of the University of Cincinnati. Here in rotation 1, women's jump. The organisers here opting to be very gentlemanly, putting ladies out first. I'm sure they appreciate that. Okay, it's all happening here. And next up on the Slalom Lake, this is Megan Gilroy of Ohio State. And the first skier looking to take advantage of the mini course. You see those green buoys just inside of the full turn buoys. And she's going for a combination here. Picked up a couple mini course buoys and a couple big buoys. So piling on some points. This will be her only pass, but still looks like she's got like 3 big buoys, 3 mini course buoys. Provisional score 4.5 for Megan. And unfortunately, Ava Valley, jump number 1, not quite able to ride that one away. Watch the replay here. Unfortunately, just dropping that left hip off the top of the jump ramp. Otherwise, though, looked to be in solid form. So I'd be expecting a land on one of her next 2 attempts. She will climb onto the duck board and reinsert herself into binding. So in about 15 minutes, we'll be back on the jump lake. As you can see, things moving at a very quick pace this morning. And the big cheer goes up for the Ohio State skier Megan Gilroy. Well, we have some early leaders in the spirit competition. If you're out here at 6:30 a.m. cheering loudly, you're doing very well. Well, it may be 7:15, but of course, Pacific time, it's only 5:15 a.m. And I actually go of the travel philosophy that it's just not worth changing time zones, and you should just always stay in your home time zone. Which is nice, because it means I'm actually staying up relatively late right now, as opposed to usual. On the water right now, out of Michigan State, that'd be Kayla Patnode. And unfortunately, the back foot's come flying out, and she's lost it right into 2 balls. So disappointing stuff there. Looked like a solid turn on 1, and coming unstuck, doing the splits into 2. And generally, in slalom skiing, it helps to keep both feet attached to the ski for the majority of the time that you're trying to go around buoys. That's just what I've heard. Okay, we should have Ava Valley back in for jump number 2 in just a few seconds over on the jump lake. Pretty balanced over those skis. Nice pair of Kidders circa 1983. Unfortunately, again, just not quite staying strong enough through the air. Really just needs to try and muscle that one out. So I understand that the seeding throughout the rotation is to do on ranking. So I guess based off this season so far, we're moving through the top woman from bottom women's slalom school in Division 1 to top women's slalom school. So we've had Madison, Ohio State, and Michigan State, and then we're going to have Western Washington with Karen Letcher, Texas A&M with Abby Hutton, San Diego State Hannah Henriksen, Clemson University, that'll be Kate Sullivan. Then we get into the top 5. From Rollins College, we'll have Aaliyah McTavish, followed by Mary Lou Molinaire of ULL, Lika Rolvers of Monroe, Sammy Stackpole of Florida Southern, and last up, the Abby Grathwell of Alabama. On the water right now, though, this is Karen Letcher of Western Washington University, pass number 1. Okay, third and final jump now for Ava Valley. Her team dearly needs her to ride one away. She's been very close on the first couple. Can she hold on? Oh, no, just capitulates as she hits the water. So disappointing stuff there. Just an announcement. I have a prize to give away. I know it's early, but we're already giving out prizes. Who on site would like to be the winner of a free boat ride? You, sir. Congratulations to the slalom dock. You get to sit in the boat and watch people ski. I know, you won something already. The week's only going to go up from here. Congrats, man. Yeah, Jeff Surday's in the boat, and he's got some important liquid lunches to get to, a few conference. He's going to put the tuxedo on, go hobnobbing in the dining room, and we need to get him out of the boat ASAP. I'm serious. You won a boat ride. Yeah, you got to get the slalom start dock. Austin, you won a boat ride. Congratulations to Austin. Okay, so we have another jumper on the water. This should be Abigail Young of UCLA. Oh, we're keeping things moving fairly quickly on the jump lake using 2 boats. And Abby Young coming in, jump number 1. A little bit straight-legged, comes off the top, leans back a bit. She's going to try hold on, though. Oh, just gets pulled out the side. Interesting strategy. We saw our first competitor from Cincinnati on a pair of 68-inch kidders from the late 70s, early 80s. Possibly the same skis that you know, the likes of Mike Hazelwood or someone like that broke a world record on. And UCLA are sending out their girls on a pair of 94-inch Goodmans. So very contrasting strategies. Right now coming to the exact same result, which is no land. But perhaps one of these strategies will pop up eventually. And Karen Letcher of Western Washington is skiing back the dock there. Okay, back to slalom. This should be Abby Hutton of Texas A&M. Great to see Texas A&M up in Division 1, along with Western. They're the two new entries and up in Division 1. Except I seem to have missed something because that's a Western bib. So I've gotten myself awfully confused already, just 15 minutes into this tournament. So this, I apologize, this must be Karen Letcher now. Okay, UCLA, Abigail Young, jump lake, ice to the water. Can we get our first land of the morning? Off the top of the ramp, this looks better. She's going to hold on. Haha, we have a score in the boards, and that was a big jump right up around the 30-foot barrier. Oh, and it looks as if this is her first ever jump land in a tournament, which perhaps if you have been living under a rock and you are new to the collegiate skiing world, you may not know that means that everyone on site is required to moon the skier. And we have a very, very happy Abby Young on the water. I know it's cold, but that wasn't a very good response there. Okay, third and final jump now. Abby Young, UCLA, score on the board. Can she go just a little bit further? Looks to be the exact same approach, hasn't changed anything. And sticks the landing again. Solid work there. And the Bruins get a score on the board early. Well, the crowds slowly filter in here and back on the slalom lake. This should be, I apologize for the premature announcement, Abby Hutton of Texas A&M. And she's opening up pretty strong here. Hoping to be one of our first competitors to run a full pass. Bit of an interesting slalom technique. Likes to lift the handle up high, rock back under the heels out of the turn. Seems to be working for her though. I'm good for now. Okay, over here on the jump lake, we have our next victim. And skis splitting on the ramp, but still riding it away. Now, she's gone for the shorter ski approach. Those appear to be some D3s. And they came pretty unstuck in the air. They were flapping around like crazy. Because they're such small skis, she was able to control them, get them back underneath her. And in the end, right away the jump. Here we go on the slalom lake again. Abby Hutton, pass number 2, making her way through it. She's around 4. Into 5 ball. I think she's going to run 2 full passes. Wow. So Texas A&M opening strong in this women's slalom event. You know, 7:30 a.m., bright and early on Thursday. This is where the team battles are often fought and won. You know, these little points you get in women's 4th, 5th seed, they can really make the difference, these bottom skiers. They can break clear of that log jam, get a score up perhaps into 28, 30 miles per hour. Can be very valuable to the team indeed. Okay, coming back, jump number 2. Alexandra Howe, University of Michigan.
1 and 7.
And that was a very tidy jump. Almost had a bit of a cut at that one, I thought. I mean, cut from left to right, which is a little unorthodox, but still, I think that edge gave her a little more speed and perhaps a little more distance. Okay, coming back in, 3rd pass. Out of Texas A&M, Abby Hutton. Okay, 3rd and final jump now, University of Michigan. Alexandra Howe off the top. And unfortunately loses a ski there on right away. Still though, solid set from her. And she can swim home to her team. So we have a new jumper on the water. This should be Veronica Stuckey of Texas School. Is that University of Texas at Austin? Yeah. I'll learn the schools before the week's out. Perhaps. I've said that before though. Well, I might be confused as to which school's on the jump lake, but I have a pretty good grasp of the school that's slaloming right now. And coming out, so this will be 25 miles per hour out of San Diego State, Hannah Henriksen on the water. And she's a slalom specialist. This is her only performance of these national championships. Hopefully she can get off a good start here in the slalom event. Looks pretty calm and composed as she goes through pass number 1. Coming into 5 ball now. And Hannah gets a score in the books there on pass number 1. Great work from her. First jump for Veronica, and has not stuck the landing. Great to see Hannah out there completing her first pass. She's a good friend of mine, Hannah. I actually lived with her for a year. She would like everyone on site to know that she has a 3.999 GPA, which apparently is a devastation because it's not quite good enough to get into Harvard. She has aspirations to become a doctor. Not because she wants to help people, just because she likes the idea of slicing people open. Pass number 2, just drops the shoulders around 4 ball, so 3.5. Probably not quite the score she was after, but still solid skiing early in the morning, gets a score on the books. Okay, back on the jump lake now. Jump number 2 for Veronica Stuckey. And that looks much tidier. She's going to ride that one away. And already, multiple lands. I was not expecting that this early in the morning. And just because I happen to be paying attention to the radio at this point in time, I'll bring you your first distance of the morning. That was 35 feet for Veronica. Okay, on the water now, the Clemson Tigers. This should be Kate Sullivan opening up pass number 1. The boat's already going pretty quick. That looks to be up around 28, 30 miles per hour on pass number 1. And she's looking the goods. As we go back to the jump lake, it's all happening, and the skis dive forward off the top of the ramp, and she can't quite pull out of it. So 35 feet will remain Veronica's best. A bit of a live replay here on my screen. See how she hits the ramp there, and then off the top, the tips just dive forward. And that's not generally what you want to do off the top of the ramp. Okay, back on the slalom lake. Kate Sullivan of Clemson coming in pass number 2. Unfortunately going down around 2 ball, but I'd say she's your new leader. That boat's going pretty quick, a fair rate of knots. That looks to be up around 32 miles per hour. So solid score from your Clemson skier. Well, this looks to be Iowa State on the water now. And jump number 1 for Christy Dirtz. And it's going to be a fall. So on the Division 1 lake, we've gotten the cannon fodder out of the way, which is a term of endearment for the bottom 7 schools in it. I include myself in that. I like to think of us as the real champions, but we're into the top 5 schools now. And these are the schools that have a chance at winning this event. I'd like to think that schools like our own had some sort of outside chance, but the fact is that's just not true. we do not have any 35-year-old Eastern European professionals on our team, so it's just never really going to happen for us. And on the water now, out of Rollins College, this will be Aaliyah McTavish, pass number 1. The boat looks to be going 34 miles per hour, and we are at 22 off already. So, Aaliyah McTavish of Rollins College making her way through pass number 1 at 22 off. Great skiing. And now that we have our first Rollins College skier on the water, you know what that means. It's time to start with the fight songs. And backed by popular request, the fight song of Rollins College. We only have to listen to the song 29 more times this weekend. Okay, that's enough of that. Unfortunately for Iowa State, Christy Dirt's still a bit of pressure mounting on her. She's got one more jump to come and yet to ride one away. And Aaliyah McTavish of Rollins College runs 28 off as well. So already picking up some big points. Looking at the running order, though, here in Rotation 1 Women's Slalom, we already have a couple skiers capable of making their way deep into 38 off. So some big scores to come here in the round 1 of Women's Slalom. And a bit of pressure on this young lady's shoulders right now on the jump lake. Iowa State women's jump is their strongest event. In fact, they're ranked right up as one of the #1 women's jump teams in the nation, rivaling a lot of the Division I schools. And it is critical that she rides one away here. Iowa State, you know, probably not all that strong in the trick event. Now, their lake is already frozen over, so really hard to practice tricks. But jump is really where they try and rack up the points. So very critical here that Christy gets a score on the board for her jump team. They need to come out strong and jump if they're going to carry their weaker trick team. Meanwhile, Slalom Lake. The action doesn't stop. Aaliyah McTavish, 32 off. Bit of a slow start on 1. But looks to be making her way through this pass still. Gets herself outside. Just slips and 4. So it looks like 3 buoys provisionally at 32 off. And Christy able to ride that one away, getting a score of 30 feet on her third and final. Okay, our last competitor in Rotation 1 women's jump out of Miami of Ohio. It is Elizabeth Rowan. And very close, but not quite riding away jump number 1. 2 jumps to come, though. I'm sure she'll get a score on the board. We've got already a plethora of scores right around the mid-30-foot range, which is a big distance already coming through in Division 2 women's jump. And on the water now on the Slalom Lake. Out of University of Louisiana Lafayette, it should be Mary Lou Molinier, the freshman from France, I understand. And she runs that opening pass. Big cheer comes up from her team. Okay, I'm not sure which lake to watch. Elizabeth Rowan, jump number 2. Can she ride it away? Off the top of the ramp, this looks better. She's going to fight to hold on, and she gets a score in the books. You know, if you stand in just the right spot, you can watch both lakes at once. Mary Lou Molinier. This looks to be 28 off for pass number 2. And she runs that one as well. Well, if rewording drinking songs to cheer on your skiers doesn't win you a Spirit Award, I don't know what does. Elizabeth Rowan, 3rd and final, sticks the landing, perhaps even a shade further. And already this morning, we've cracked through a whole rotation of women's jump. We were going through slalom quite fast, but now that we're into some of the better skiers and they're going to run some more passes, that's going to slow right down, which is great to see. So, ULL, the Ragin' Cajuns. Mary Lou Molinier, 3rd pass. I believe this is 32 off. Gets in deep out of 1 ball, slams that ski round. Looking good here as she moves through the opening of this pass. She's going to take the lead here. She gets herself outside 4, takes it off Rollins College. She'll keep going, though. I think she's going to run this one. Throws off at 6, and a full pass there. Never looked like any shadow of doubt. 6 buoys at 32 off for the Ragin' Cajuns out of Lafayette. Well, your jumper on the water out of Texas State University should be Ruth McCreary. Although right now, I think the focus needs to be on Mary Lou Molinier coming in at 35 off. Very valuable team points. Ruth McCreary, jump number 1. And looks like she pulls on to that one, gets a score. So solid score there for Ruth. Coming in now on the slalom leg, Mary Lou Molinaire. Unfortunately, I missed that. We've got a replay here, though. We'll see what the score was. Looks like she went down pretty early on. Got herself outside one. Bit of a slow start on one, and then around two, just winning the drink. So 1.5 at 35 off for Mary Lou Molinaire. Solid score, though. And you never know, that could end up being pretty valuable to ULL. Second jump now, Ruth McCreary, Texas State University. Unfortunately, not quite able to ride that one away. Okay, from one Louisiana school we go to the other. And out of Monroe and the Warhawks, this should be Like Rovers. I'm sure I'm absolutely butchering that pronunciation.
Probably, I can only really do the Midwest. I don't really know anybody else. I can try talk about things.
Seems like some sort of European, perhaps a Scandinavian name. I actually understand that having a foreign passport is a prerequisite to joining the ULM water ski team. They do not accept Americans. Third and final jump now for Ruth McCreary of Texas State. Looks like a very nice jump. Sticks the landing too. That's a solid, solid attempt there from Ruth. Another full pass there from Leakey. Looked to be 22 off on pass number 2. And taking the water on the jump lake out of the University of Cincinnati is Jillian Rapian. Here we go, coming in attempt number 1, Jillian Rapian. Fortunately, the first skier from Cincinnati was unable to ride away a jump in her 3 attempts. And Jillian not off to a great start. Back on the water, Leakey Rovers of ULM. Looks to be making her way through the slalom pass fairly well. Well, from where I'm standing, I can only see the first 3 buoys, but I think she did really well on those first 3. Hopefully the next 3 went just as well. And looking at the replay, it looks like they did. You know, a lot of coaches will say it's all about the gates, and from this end I can see the entrance gates. So if I was really intelligent, I'd probably be able to figure out exactly the score they get based off the way they went through their gates. I think that's how slalom works. Unfortunately, it looks like just blowing the fin out around 2 ball there. At what looked to be 32 off. So we go back to the jump leg. Jump number 2 for Jillian Rapian of Cincinnati University. This looks better. Can she hold on? Oh, she held on for dear life, but the skis were over her head, and that's a very difficult place to come back from. You know, once you roll over and the skis are above your head, it tends to be rather difficult to ride away your jump. Third and final jump now, Jillian, and very close. Disappointing that she was unable to ride that one away because I thought she looked really good.
Toss it like right here, maybe.
Sorry, having some very technical discussions up here about some audio-visual stuff. All stuff that I understand really well, too. And that must have been Samantha Stackpole of Florida Southern College opening up with her first 2 passes and running them well. And, of course, on the jump lake out of UCLA, it's Felicia Lozinski coming in for her first jump. UCLA opened up strong with a first-time land from Abby Young. Can they repeat that here with Felicia? gets right down low off the ramp. In fact, her butt was on her skis, and perhaps just giving a little too much to the ramp there. So unable to ride that one away. Back here, though, on the slalom lake, Florida Southern College, the Moccasins. Historically very strong in women's slalom. And Sammy looks to be coming back in at 28 off. And goes down there. Well, I'm back, folks. I had to hunt down a radio so I could whisper sweet nothings to the judges as well. And I'm picking this as pass number 1 for Abby Grathwohl of Alabama. Currently the number 1 ranked women's slalom team in the nation. You can see why Abby Grathwohl, first off the dock, opening up at 28 off. I mean, most schools would kill to have a girl that could even get into 28 off, and Alabama's worst women's slalomer opens at it, and no worries at all. She makes her way through that pass. Felicia's been reinserted into her jump skis, and she'll come back in for her next attempt. Second attempt now, Felicia of UCLA. A little bit stronger off the top of the ramp, and that was closer. There's a strong correlation here between how well she resists that ramp and how close she is to landing. Okay, coming back now, pass number 2. Abby Grathwohl, this is 32 off the 13-meter line, and she makes that one look easy as well. Of course, current lead in women's slalom, 1.5 at 35. Don't expect that to hold. I think we're going to see girls deep into 38, perhaps even a score into 39.5 off today. We're going to see some very good skiing. You know, with some of the skiers in this field, it's an outside possibility. We could even see the women's slalom record be threatened. So while we have a bit of a dead spot, we actually have some more prizes to give out. I gave out a great prize to Austin earlier. He got a free boat ride. This one is even more exciting. So if you're interested in a prize, if you contact me now, you could be allowed to stand up here and man a camera. That's a pretty good prize. I don't really know what more you could want. 35 off now, Abby Grathwell, Florida, Alabama. And she's looking okay. Bit of trouble out of 3 ball. Oh. And that's a disappointment. I would have expected her to run that. Abby pretty consistent to pick up 1 or 2 at 38 and goes down around 3. So 2.5 at 35. New leader. Still, I think, a little bit disappointing for Alabama. So we still need sign-ups for cameras in all seriousness, so if you want to man a camera. If everyone does a little bit, it's not that bad a job. We all pitch in. Jump number 3, Felicia Lozinski of UCLA. Oh, she was so close. So close, but can't ride that one away, and that's a bit disappointing for Felicia. But I just noticed the big banner on the jump ramp, and of course, I guess it's probably too late now to submit your fantasy leagues, being the tournament started. But a lot of fun, that is. And some great jokes coming out of it as well. My dad texted me the other night, and I found it quite insulting, but he thought he was very funny, and he was quite excited that Freddie Winter had been added in. And he said it was good. He had plenty money left over to buy Freddie Winter for his fantasy team because he picked me in jump. So basically I have a really supporting father. Right, into rotation 2 of women's slalom. And it should be Elena Clark of the University of Wisconsin-Madison. And she's opening up at about 21 miles per hour on the spoon. The Big Daddy slalom ski, making it work for her, cranking it round. And this might not quite be Abby Grathwell coming in at 35 off, but it's still pretty entertaining. Elena Clark, Wisconsin-Madison. Looks like she's going to run a full pass here. Can she get herself at 6? She's a little bit down course. Oh, I think she's picked up the mini course buoy on 6. So that's a score of 5.5 under the new scoring system. And on the jump, Blake, out of University of Michigan, it's Jordan Case, unable to ride away jump number 1. Yeah, so I suppose this is the first nationals under the new mini course rule. It seems like it's been around forever. I've been to probably close to 10 tournaments now where we've used the mini course scoring, but I suppose this is our first collegiate national championship, so we've used the mini course, and great to see some skiers already utilizing it. Great to see, I think, because they intended to utilize it. If I end up using the mini course, I'm going to be a little bit upset with myself, but it's good to know it's there as a backup. Hey, I've got another free prize to give out. Austin has passed out due to heat stroke already. Apparently, he had a little too much last night. Too much fun, that is. And we need a volunteer to ride in the boat. You want a free boat ride, Sam? Women's slalom. It's a great way to pick up chicks. I love being boat judge. Ask the important questions. Name, start speed, rope length, phone number, relationship status. You gotta cover all your bases. That's the only thing I ever volunteer for is boat judge women's slalom. Women's jump too. Yeah, this is actually, I don't know if you guys know, but the NCWSA strongly promotes hazing. So if you have a freshman on your team that needs to get knocked down a peg, please send them to do some videoing. It's initiation. We've all got freshmen, send them to do stuff. That's what she said. Is that? Okay, it looks like University of Alabama is opening strong on the hazing, and they're going to send a freshman to go ride in the boat. If you have any freshmen, though, we still have some positions to fill, manning cameras on shore. We like to create a strong, welcoming community of disenfranchised freshmen.
We don't have all the SCSU freshmen to do it this year.
Okay, second jump now for the skier out of the University of Michigan, Jordan Case. Comes off the top of the ramp. This looks better. She's going to stick the landing. Big fist throw. And that's exciting stuff. And that was 35 feet from Jordan Case. Well, when you're done finding freshmen to send to man cameras, it doesn't seem like everyone jumped up at once for that. If anyone has ever done any announcing or would like to try, sometimes I get a little lonely up here by myself. You're welcome to come hang out with me. And they keep asking me to come back, so like, don't feel like you're not going to be good enough. It's not a very high bar. I know it's early Saturday and most of the professionals are still in a different country. They fly in tomorrow and the limo rolls in. 5th round men's slalom, right? The limo is going to pick them up at the airport around 10 a.m. tomorrow. Okay, well this is Michigan State on the water. Jean Klochko Bull is the skier, and she's on pass number 1. Back away a little longer. We have a new skier on the water. Yeah, I don't know who it is, but on this lake we've got. Let me keep jump on this side, Slalom on this side. So it's going to be Caney Bigham. Okay, so good skiing from Jean, not quite running past number 1, but that's okay. And over on the jump lake, we have the University of Texas, Kami Bigham, looking to score on the board for her team. Off the top, looks pretty solid. She's going to ride that one out. And a score on the board. That means next up on the slalom lake, out of Western Washington University, is Mackenzie Bachmeyer. Well, official score coming through of 1 buoy for those interested. Which is still 1 more than 0.
That was her second pass.
Especially since it was her second pass. Which means it's at least a score of 7. Perhaps higher, although I forget what comes after. So Kami Bigham, unfortunately falling on jump number 2, reinserted back into her skis. She'll have 1 more jump to come. And back here on the slalom lake. Looks like we have Texas A&M on the water. And this should be Hannah Cook. And she's making her way through this pass, racking up the points. So it looks like we've got a score of 3.5 combined mini course score. And another fall, unfortunately, for Kami, but she had her first jump scoring, so we've still got a score for the team. Okay, so we're going to have 2 new skiers on the water. On the jump lake, out of the University of Wisconsin lacrosse, we should have Samantha Granick. And over on the slalom, out of San Diego State University, we should have Tabitha Magna.
Did anybody actually take you up on the free boat ride or no?
Alabama found a freshman.
Sam said he had a freshman for me
Okay, awesome.
who got sent down there maybe.
Sort of needs to get out to do with fantasy stuff because the site went down, so
Right.
yeah. No one's gonna want that. Gotta get 'em out.
So, jump number 1 for Samantha Granick is successful. Score on the board. And confirmation that Tabby will be coming in at 26 miles per hour, 15 off. And Tabby here competing at what will probably be her last ever national championships. She's a senior at San Diego State. She's come a long way since I've been on the team. Remember a couple of years ago in Texas, she was our first round woman slalomer. She went out on a pair of 72-inch kidders and ran 19 miles per hour. And here she is on a slalom ski. The correct ski for the correct event. It's a pretty novel concept at 26 minus 15. And looking the goods. Oh no, devastation. Tabby goes down around 3, so not quite the score she was looking for out there today. I think the slower water of Bennett's got to her. Of course, San Diego State trains on salt water in Mission Bay, and you probably couldn't find 2 more polar opposite places to ski, a saltwater site and Tri-Lakes here in Louisiana, very slow water. Jump number 3, or number 2, I believe now, for Samantha Granick. And another very, very solid landing. She looks very comfortable out there.